I'm Josh with Waupaca Community Media, and we are back again to get Waupaca up to date with Aaron Jensen from the State of Waupaca and Ron Sorry from the School District of Waupaca. Hello.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
And we are leading up to probably one of the busiest summer weekends in the Waupaca area. First thing going on is the triathlon, Aaron.
Yeah, Waupaca Area Triathlon this Friday and Saturday. Kids Triathlon is Friday night. If you haven't signed your kids up, you can still sign them up that night, that evening. And then it's a great event. It's awesome to watch the kids around. It's crazy to see some of the equipment that these kids have. They have nicer bikes than I have, that's for sure. We signed our kid up last year, and it was like, we need to upgrade our equipment. But it is cool. And also the triathlon, of course, you don't have to do just the full triathlon. There's a short course, there's relays. You can do it as a team. It's a great event in a beautiful route. And we look forward to having it. And it looks like we're going to have great weather. And then at the same time, Josh, I know you're probably going to get there, but we have Arts on the Square downtown this weekend. That's Friday and Saturday. So a couple of announcements. The parking lot behind City Hall and the library and East Fulton Street will be closed starting Friday morning at about 5 a.m. For setup for that event. But it's a great event. Everyone should come downtown. Waupaca is going to be really, really hopping this weekend. So if you're not doing anything, just come out to observe. It's going to be fun stuff to be around. So, and then the library is also closed on Saturday because of Arts on the Square. So people should know that. And the recycling center is going to open late on Saturday because of the triathlon. And that's going to be an 11 a.m. open time for the recycling center.
Hopefully everyone remembers all that. Busy weekend. We'll jump over to Ron to talk about an initiative the school district's working on. Aaron kind of summed it up nice when we were talking before the interview. It's just a lot of good common sense, but good reminders. And it's a new culture guidebook you're working on just to kind of remind people of the basics and things to think about as they're doing their job and going through the school year.
Correct, Josh. We shared this with the school board last week at our board meeting, and we're going to kind of roll it out this year to all of our staff. It is a culture guidebook that just has a lot of expectations about how we work together as a team. Just put it in writing. And like we said, none of this is earth-shattering brain surgery here or anything. It's just good common sense stuff. And we also have a companion to the guidebook, which we're calling Comet Fundamentals, or maybe it'll be called Comet Universals, which are a summary of the guidebook, and it has 19 principles to follow. So our hope is, as a school district, our philosophy is continuous improvement with a growth mindset, or through a growth mindset. And as we work in teams, education has changed. It used to be where a teacher comes into their classroom and they just work independently, and that was it. And what often could occur is you get different outcomes from depending on who the individual teacher is. Now we're working as teams. We've created, and through the Making Learning Visible plan, a guaranteed viable curriculum. We also have, that includes our targets, and then we have our targets aligned assessment, our common assessments. And the third phase that we're in this year is analyzing the data as a team, the student outcome data from our common assessments, and then adjusting our strategies based on best practice to improve our student outcomes. So that's a lot of teamwork, and that's a lot of culture. How do I, as an individual, if my scores aren't very good and my colleagues' scores are very good, I got to take my ego out of my pocket, off, and put it in my pocket and say, hey, you had some good data. What are the strategies that you used? I want to learn what I can do differently to improve my student outcomes. So it's that collaboration, working as a team to help each other and support each other. And culture is such an important factor in this process of making learning visible. And the reason is because when you look at a high effective strategy like common assessments, it is a 0.9 level of effectiveness, which means If you do that at a high level, the common assessments, that's 2 years worth of growth in 1 year's worth of instruction. But if it's done with individual teachers who don't have collective efficacy, you're not getting the 2 years worth of growth. You're not maximizing the amount of growth. So when you think about the three biggest factors that influence student outcomes, the first is, does the teacher believe that the students can all learn? The second is teacher collective efficacy, which means me and my team of staff all believe that we can make a positive difference in the lives of these students and their learning. And the third, does the student as an individual believe that he or she can learn? Those are the three biggest factors. They're all efficacy and they're all culturally related, which means if you have a strong, positive culture, it's going to have a positive impact on your teaching and learning strategy. It's going to make them be more effective than if you don't have a positive culture. You follow me? Is that making sense?
Yeah.
So that's why
awesome.
I'm so passionate about the culture and what that means and what this culture guidebook is and what the common fundamentals, these 19 pieces are, such as the first one is our culture begins with me, or our culture begins with you. What that means is I can't control anybody else. All I can control is me. And sometimes I may not even be able to control me because I'm a human being and I make mistakes. But if I'm working on myself to be the best version of myself every day and want to be a continuous learner, that I'm going to be able to have a positive contribution to the culture of our school or our building. And if everybody has that belief that culture begins with them, it is going to have a positive influence. Because really, when you think about it, Josh, everybody in our organization is a leader. Every single person, whether you're a teacher, you're an administrator, you're a board member, you're a secretary, an aide, a custodian, it doesn't matter. Each of us are coming to our work and we're all leaders. And being a leader means we take 100% responsibility for what happens in our organization and trying to help it grow and be better and get it to the next level of effectiveness. So that's what that's all about.
Well, great explanation. And, you gave a couple examples, just a lot of just common sense things to remind people and to kind of keep things in reality per se.
Yeah, it is.
All right, we'll keep moving along here. Some other exciting things going on. The City Hall Library building has been on the square 30 years. Those departments moved in back in 1993. City Hall coming from what is now exclusively the police department, and the library was in what is now the Holly History and Genealogy Center, and there's a celebration coming up.
How old were you, Josh, in 1993? How old were we?
I
Not
think I
very
would have
old.
been 7.
7? All right.
7 or
Older
8.
than me. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's cool. And it's really cool that the library board, library foundation, and library staff are recognizing that. And they're doing so by having an event from 3 to 6 on the front lawn, August 30th. And I heard there will be cake. So if that's not enough reason to come, you also may have recognized some banners that are up. So we've had some new banners on Main Street in the downtown, also actually on Fulton Street and Churchill. But we've actually had a couple other different design just around City Hall Square that commemorates that 30 years on the square. So there will be some activities on that August 30th, again, 3 to 6. The library puts on fantastic family-oriented activities all the time. If you haven't gotten to one yet, or if you're busy doing other activities, this is kind of one of those a little bit of the quieter times of summer from like a recreation sports thing. We're kind of in between that summer and fall activities. So this would be a great opportunity to go check out what the library has going on August 30th.
Very good. And then, Ron, we'll jump back to you. Last time we talked a bit about some updates on the school security projects, such as the building projects and parking lot and all that. We want to talk a little more about the parking lot at the high school. I've been by there a couple times, and it's a bit different than what it used to be. There's going to be a different traffic flow, and I know shortly you'll be working on getting some videos and communication out there so people know how to use the lot once you settle into the new school year.
Yeah, the lot is different than the previous lot in the fact that it has a sidewalk, a raised curbed sidewalk that looks like a T. And the bottom of the T extends from the entrance to the high school across the parking lot, and then there's a top up there. And that top of the T is the edge of a road that we put in. So parents that come into the parking lot from the same side they always have will just continue straight. And then when you get to the corner, you take a left and you're at the top of the T, and parents then can drop their kiddos off right there on the T, the top of the T, and then they follow it into the building. And we believe this is going to improve efficiency in dropping and picking students up from school. So we're going to make a video. We're going to show people it in real time, what it looks like. And they just keep going at the top of that T, and they go out then by the tennis courts. So last year they would come in where the students parked, and then they'd go out, and there was traffic jams with kids and parents. And this year they're going to go out the other way. And this is based on feedback from the people who design parking lots for a living. And we're pretty confident this is going to be a good thing. Also, we've added right turn lanes for both of the entrance exits, whether it's the light side from Highway 22 or the King side entrance and exit. There'll be that right lane for turning, and that should help expedite people from leaving the high school as well. So we think both of those are going to be an asset.
I think that right turn lane out of the student parking lot, Ron, will be especially helpful. And I just have a quick question. Can people check that out? Is there a home football game this Friday?
I think it's away.
Is it away this Friday? Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah.
All right. You're probably right.
I could be mistaken. It's supposed to be done this week. The only problem that we're having is the high school remodeling of the entrance isn't completed yet, but it will be very close to completed by the end of this week.
Cool. Awesome. It's a short window you guys have for construction. It's a short window.
Well, Ron, Aaron, appreciate the time to get the community up to date, and we will talk again soon.
Thanks, Josh.